Well, the big story we're following today, President Joe Biden breaking that promise. He has now decided to go ahead and pardon his son, Hunter Biden, on the charges he's been facing. U.S. Senator James Lankford in studio here in Oklahoma City today. He's getting ready to head back to Washington. Senator, thanks for coming in this morning. What was your reaction when you heard the news last night that the president would be pardoning? Is this a surprise to you?
No, it's not a surprise. I think everybody heard him for months saying, I'm not going to do it, not going to do it. His press secretary came out multiple times, in fact, just a couple of weeks ago and said, no, we're not going to do a pardon. We're going to let the justice system actually work. And then when he came out and did it, I think the biggest surprise really was the size of the pardon, if I can say it that way. This is unprecedented to do a pardon because the pardon wasn't just a pardon for the crimes that he's currently facing and that he's been convicted of.
Right.
It was for anything he might have done at any time. And all the way up until midnight yesterday on it, it was basically, he could have done anything, and it's a federal offense. It's pardoned. We've literally not seen a pardon like that since Nixon.
Wow.
And so it was uncharacteristic in any way that he basically said, my son, no matter what he did, all the drug abuse, all the everything else, he's released from everything.
We are in a transition time here, getting ready for President-elect to take the presidency at the beginning of the year. But there is a lot to do for lawmakers facing so many deadlines before the end of this year. Can you kind of run through some of those for us?
I can. There is a lot still to do, as you mentioned before. The National Defense Authorization still has to be done. We have 3 weeks of session to get it done. It's a giant bill. We have 12 appropriation bills that have to be done. We have the Farm Bill. We need to get an extension on that. We can't let that expire. There's disaster aid for North Carolina that's sitting out there, and a lot of what we affectionately call the dogs and cats. There's a lot of things that still have to be done in the next 3 weeks. Now, Chuck Schumer is still the leader of the Senate. A lot of people think the election happened, everything transitions the next day. The House and the Senate don't actually transition until the 3rd of January, and we have a new president the 20th of January. So we have kind of a lame duck now, and then another lame duck from January the 3rd until the 20th of January.
President Trump not wasting any time on his cabinet picks. Just first of all, on the border czar, I know the border is important to you. You've worked hard on that. Tom Homan, what do you think about him being the border czar? He talks tough, for sure.
He does. Yeah, he talks tough. The border czar will be a person that's actually in the White House that will be advising the president and working with all the agency heads. Kristi Noem will be the leader for the Department of Homeland Security. She'll be a good leader for that. Tom Homan will be inside the White House kind of guiding the whole policy. There's a guy named Stephen Miller that will also be in the White House dealing with policy on this. They're already laying out an agenda. As President Trump announced, I'm going to do tariffs on Mexico if they don't help us shut down the border. And Mexico immediately responded back and said, hey, we'll do tariffs back. But what will happen is over the next couple of weeks, they'll start that negotiation. President Trump wants to have that border closed by the time he becomes president on the 20th of January. And he's already doing the work right now to start enforcing the law on that.
A lot of talk about his cabinet picks. Some it seems like we'll get through very easily. Some maybe not so much, including the Department of Defense leader that he's tapped for that, Pete Hegseth. He was a Fox News contributor, but also a military veteran. There's been just some talk about his history with women.
Yep.
What is your thoughts on that? Will he get through? What do you think?
Well, he's going to go through the process. He's a patriot. He's somebody that's been very passionate and very outspoken about the military, but there's also lots of other questions on it. He's also not led anything this large on it. Obviously, no one has because the Department of Defense is so massive, but he has a very strong military record, and I think he, like everybody else, will get a fair hearing. We'll get a chance to be able to go through the process. Let's get all the information out and to be able to get it resolved. We've already seen like Matt Gaetz has already gone through. There were a lot of questions about it behind the scenes, and he's already withdrawn his name on it. Pam Bondi has then been nominated by the president, who is a great choice for Attorney General. And so we'll let the whole process play out here over the next couple of months. That process of nominations will start the 3rd of January when the new Congress is sworn in. We'll do as many as we can during that time period. When the president comes in on the 20th, we'll try to have some ready day one.
Almost out of time, but you have been tapped to be kind of the vice chair of the conference for the Senate, for the Republicans. Right. What will some of your new duties be taking on that leadership role?
Yeah, the good part about Oklahoma for this is it gives me the opportunity as an Oklahoman to sit at the leadership table, to be a voice in there to say, here's the direction we need to go, here's the speed we need to take, here are bills that we need to come up. Obviously, John Thune, who's the new majority leader, he'll be the final decision on that, but I'll be at the, if I can say it in Hamilton terms, in the room where it happens, and to be able to help push a set of Oklahoma ideas.
All right. Well, Senator Lankford, anything else you want to say to Oklahomans today, getting ready to get into the Christmas holiday and the new year?
It is December already. Get ready for Christmas, and we are very excited about that in our family.
Well, James Lankford, the U.S. Senator from Oklahoma, we appreciate you coming in this morning. I know you're getting ready to go catch a flight to head back to our nation's capital. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Robin.